The Pelicans come back for a 104-95 win against the San Antonio Spurs. And down the stretch, the Pelicans yet again win in clutch time. Trey Murphy came up with some big shots. Yves Missi, though, I don't think anything was bigger than what we saw from Missi in the fourth quarter of action. Welcome to Pelicans OT, presented by your local Toyota dealer, alongside Wes Johnson. Yes, we are happy. We are clapping. Yes. I'm Aaron Summers, because the Pelicans were up by 20 points in this game, Wes. Right. With 5 minutes to go, they were down 5 minutes.
Right.
And we got another clutch time victory.
We did. They woke up. They are at home. They went on a run. You heard Zion allude to it. Yes, they go on runs. So with that being said, we really settled the storm. We made sure that we took care of business. And you see in 4 quarters, we talk about closing. They closed the game.
How much was Yves Missi a difference maker down the stretch?
He was huge. He was a difference maker. Yeah, you think it's 1 through 5 switching. You think about plays at the rim. You think about stuff like second chance points. If you look at the course of the game, him coming in there, being able to switch 1 through 5, him being able to play in Dunker's spot and be able to make decisions out of that, even though it's like, do you want him being able to make those decisions? But then he started being decisive, being able to get the ball, put it on the rim, or just get it and make another action, dribble hands off with Trey, or being able to finish with force around the rim. That is something that you want to see him be able to do, especially when it's a late game like that.
He played over 30 minutes tonight off of the bench. He ends up with a double-double, 10 points, 14 boards, majority of those offensive rebounds. He was down there battling amongst Victor Wembanyama, but he had 2 blocks and a steal, and one of those blocks came up down the stretch when the Pelicans really needed a stop, and he delivered.
Yeah, his effort was there. Activity was there. And him being able to play off of Zion, and you're looking at the spacing of that. And Wemby was in that little tilt and spying mode that, okay, I'm not going to guard Missi because he's not a threat. So him being able to do that, Missi was able to capitalize. And then you love to see it because now he's settling into his role.
Really smart play by the Pelicans down the stretch. They made the right decisions. They saw what they were playing against defensively, the changes that the Spurs were making. And it threw them for a little bit. Yeah. And the Spurs were able to get back in the game, but the Pelicans kept it together.
Yeah, they did. I'm happy to see it because we were on the other side of this talking about how can we get on that side. But now we're seeing everybody trusting their process and really close these games out now.
Absolutely. We have 2 other double-doubles that we need to talk about tonight.
Yes, we do.
Because it wasn't just Yves Missi, but Saddiq Bey and Zion Williamson both had 24-point and 10-board nights.
Wow. I mean, what more can you ask? I mean, you're talking about people to come out to contributing. We're seeing Saddiq come out every night and be steady for us, but him being able to space the floor, play within himself, regardless of how the defense is playing, seeing how he could be effective when Wemby was being in that little spy mode, but him being able to get downhill, post guys up, get to the free throw line. But the 3-point shot for me, being able to space that floor. And you're seeing the hustle from him, getting these extra possessions. That's something that he can continue to do. And it's being able to be effective in all different facets of the game. And that's why you love him so much, being out there to help us.
Saddiq Bey is coming off a season-high 36-point performance on Friday night against Memphis. He was huge in that one. He, again, stepped up in this game. And Zion Williamson has just continued to deliver night in and night out. I mentioned he had a double-double again tonight, but it was his aggressive play.
That's it.
Especially when the game started unraveling a little bit for the Pelicans, he really locked in and got the Pelicans through.
Right. Like you just said it. He locked in. And once he's locked in, there's not too much you can do with him. And you see him getting downhill, being able to shoot those bunnies, those little floaters over Wemby in the paint, but getting to his spots. I mean, being effective around the rim, rebounding, yes, you see that, but being able to attack when he needs to. But you can't stay in front of him. You're not going to be able to stay in front of him. Yes, you can build a wall as much as you want, but he's making an effort to find his teammates as well, but being able to get downhill, that's his strength. That's what you rely on for him to do because it opens up so much more for everybody else. But you've seen in his eyes in that fourth quarter, being able, you're not stopping him. I'm not going to stay in front of me, and then he needed that because, hello.
I love when Z plays like that.
I do too.
Because there is no stopping him. We take a look at this graphic here. Zion against Wemby. We talked about it going into the game. Zion had the advantage, and he did yet again tonight.
Yeah, you see the 4 blocks for Wemby, 16 and 16. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Z, effective. He punished him. He made sure that letting him know, like, you can't stay in front of me. And Wemby, every time he guarded him on the perimeter, it was a mismatch in Z's way. So now we see something that when Z is effective, when he wants to get downhill, you see nobody can stay in front of him.
Zion was working so well that the Spurs made a change at the half, and they took Wemby off of him.
Right.
And then they basically made him that second defender on Z. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's there. Because once they did that, when we were talking about Messi, he was able to float around and be effective. So, yeah, that's one of those things that you see everybody understanding the game, settling in, having a poise, and being focused of how to be effective. And, yeah, you did that, but it worked in our favor. We're
definitely starting to see the chemistry out on display with this team, and things coming together in high pressure moments because the emotions came out down the stretch.
They did.
There were a few players that got a little hot.
Yeah.
Derek Queen, but it's understandable.
It's a fact, yeah.
It's going to be tough when you don't get the call that you think you should be getting. And as a rookie, you're definitely not.
Right.
So it's kind of managing those moments a little bit better, but that's what they have to kind of play through and grow through.
That's where you have veterans. You saw the veterans pull them aside, talking to them, but all of us are competitors at the end of the day. So, yeah, those moments that it could have skewed one way or the other, especially the tight game, but we pulled it out.
Yeah, definitely. We appreciate DeAndre Jordan for always being there to rein us back in.
Please do.
Let's take a look at the boards here because the second chance points were huge for the Pelicans tonight. They end up with 58 rebounds against, one of the tallest players on the court in the league. And you have 19 O boards for 26 second chance points.
Look at it, it's a collective thing. You see Messi get on the board, you saw Saddiq, you see Zion, you see everybody contributing in that way. So for us to be able to win that quote unquote math equation of that battle, so that is something that we can continue to do because that's something that you asked in the pregame. Effort. That is all effort. Us trying to make an effort to get more boards, get second chance points to be able to pull out wins like this when shots are not falling. But when we're clicking on all centers like that, yeah, it's going to be tough to beat us.
Well, let's take a look at those final stats and how the rebounds played in with everything else that happened in this game. We talked about, obviously, the second chance points that came off of them. This right here, though, okay, so we made a lineup change, right?
Yeah.
And that first unit played extremely well, and we kind of ran with it.
Yeah, I mean, you stay with it.
Messi came in as Derek Queen got into foul trouble, and he was playing a little bit better. But you were talking to me about how having Herb Jones on the floor has changed so much for this team already in just 2 games.
Yeah, because you know everybody is, I would say, a Swiss Army knife. They're able to complement each other. So if Herb is out there, you know he's going to be in the corner. He's going to cut. He's going to set the offense up. You see Saddiq being the spacer. If you need an offensive play, you can go through him. Z is Z. Trey is the one that's going to float around. And if you have another guy to come off like Messi, now he knows his role. So if you're looking at the second chance points, that's something that's effort that everybody's contributing. You see the points in the paint. Effective in driving with Z. Trey getting off the handle, going to the rim. So it's a lot of effort and a lot of plays that contribute to all of these things. So you've seen everybody chemistry, you've seen everybody settle in. So now it's going to be a free-flowing offense for us to continue to be able to get these wins like this.
Absolutely. And honestly, you only score 104 points, but you hold San Antonio to 95.
Right.
They score on average nearly 118 a game. Defense. That is effort.
For sure. That's all you need. Defensive, being able to lock down people like that, yeah, that's all effort. All effort. So, yeah, hold your hat on that.
Definitely. All right. We are going to take a break here. On the other side, we will hear from interim head coach James Borrego and potentially some other players because we did get a win. So it's always nice to hear from the happy guys. 2 wins in a row now from the Pels.